right, welcome to the Clear Code Podcast. I'm your host, Will Woodrow. This is season 1, episode 3 with the Days of the Dead Film Festival organizers, Audery and George Lane. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you guys are here with us today. Perry Stevens over here on the ones and twos is producing the show for us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What's been up, guys?
Ooh, that is a loaded question.
It is.
Lots has been up. George, you start because I always talk.
All right. So we're just kind of we're about midway. We just hit our end, our last
Almost
not final deadline, late deadline for like submissions.
next week.
For the film festival. So people that are sending in their screenplays or short and feature films.
Pilots, teleplays. It is April 19th. Next Sunday, you've got a week. So if you have not gotten those submissions in, that's just for our late deadline. Then we have a final deadline. Final kaput, that's it. So
is that for the Indianapolis show?
It is.
Yep.
It is. We're excited to be back. Indianapolis, July 17th through 19th at the Marriott East. The remodel should be completely done. Our December show, they were still working on a few things, but the rooms are looking good. The space is looking good. So we're excited to go back and have it how we envision.
Yeah,
it.
that place probably needed an upgrade, huh?
Man.
Yeah,
It's an old
we've
ass
seen
building.
a couple. I mean, we've been working on and off at that location for well over a decade. So I think this is the second big renovation we've seen them do.
What was the last show you guys did? Atlanta?
Atlanta in February.
So, you guys, which ones are you doing and which ones aren't you doing?
That is a great question. Because most
Well,
people
the film festival itself
Yeah.
is twice a year, right?
Right.
Yep.
So, is that Indianapolis and Atlanta?
Yeah, we have the winter cycle in Atlanta at the beginning of the year, and then the summer cycle is June or July. It switches around each year, and that's in Indy. We will do like a special screening, like when the movie Screamboat. It's like the parody of like the Mickey Mouse, the Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
We did a special. Hey, kitty. We did
Cat, get out of here.
We did like a special screening of that. We premiered it in Vegas at the Brennan Theater. So I mean that was cool.
And then they did one in January with a special screening, but we weren't there, but they did a special screening for, my goodness, help me.
Hold on. Just this
Yes.
for the Demonatrix?
No.
What are you talking about?
No, there was a special screening in Vegas for
The Eli Roth.
Thank you.
Cabin
Jeez.
Fever.
Brain
Yeah.
Lapse. This is a Sunday.
So no. All right. So let's talk about some of the workload that you guys have, because from show to show, cycle to cycle, you guys don't just show up at the show and hand out awards, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
What is involved? I mean, I know you guys watch a lot of films.
And read a lot of scripts.
Oh yeah.
It's so I will say, and I'd like to preface it with this. A lot of times, when people want to work with us or want to volunteer and things like that, I think the misconception is, like you said, we show up and we're there that day. No, it starts, we literally run concurrently. So while we're prepping for one event, we're still watching movies,
Yep.
reading scripts, trying to, get volunteers. It's a whole
Full-time
process.
job,
it is
really?
and so it's like George has 3 jobs.
So you guys are a married dynamic duo, so it's nice probably to have the partnership of both being able to kind of split the responsibility. I'm sure that leads to some internal
Dude.
It's
strife, but
Who do I want you to be today? My husband or my work partner?
yeah.
We had to
Or-
work out a lot of the kinks and stuff because there's some heavy arguments. It's just like, all right, some workload issues, and it was just kind of like, all right, and then, but once we finally were like, okay, so you take care of this portion, I'll take care of this portion. We were able to kind of
Delegate.
Once we
Yeah.
delegated, we made sure that it was just like, okay, I definitely do these things. But then, of course, there's those situations where it's like, hey, the workload is unusually, heavy. She does primarily most of the email conversations with a lot of the filmmakers. And then if it's something like, hey,
Materials,
it's
it's
just
yeah.
extra heavy, and then it's just like, okay, cool, thanks for letting me know. And she's just like, can you cover this, this, and this, and this? And I'm like, all right, got it. So then I'll pick up some of that workload if it is a little heavy on her end.
So, because people don't know the inner workings of what you guys actually do, and I don't either, our relationship is based on the fact that I make the film festival awards for you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, this is
So-
You're the
badass.
best.
So, and that's amazing that you guys chose to put it in your branding too. I really appreciate that. And then the cross pollination and promotion of each other's stuff is mighty helpful. You guys have a much bigger audience than I do. Luckily, there's a lot of people involved in the festival itself, so I kind of get the benefit when you guys also tag and promote my stuff, and super appreciate that.
You're
But,
welcome. And let me tell you, who always tags and promotes your stuff are even people that aren't getting the awards and they are seeing the awards. They are like, oh my gosh, who is this? Where is it? I don't know, but this
Man.
award is fucking cool. So
They're like, this is the best one. They're like, this is the one that's getting showcased in front of all the other ones in my trophy case. I'm
so
like,
they're
"Ooh,
amazing
all right."
because they literally are, taking photos, tagging you. Because what I'm asking, can you make sure you tag the creator too? Because we tag them on our stuff, and you can see there, or here it is. And they were like, "Oh, I already did," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Wonderful.
No, I appreciate that. Actually, I've gotten to know a few of the filmmakers and stuff just kind of through like Instagram. They'll, follow me or whatever, and then we'll talk a little bit here and there. So that's been a cool networking
they're
thing for me as
very
well.
supportive of not just us, but of each other in this realm. And I've always say we have always get a good group of people, and they strike up friendships. They support each other. They are interested in other people's work and not just their own. And those are the types of people that we really love that come through our festival. And some you get to know better than others. Some keep in touch better than others. Everyone's busy, so it's not a knock or anything. But when you see them making the effort to support other people, that sits really well with me. And it's just like, wow, this isn't just about us or our film festival. It's about them as creators, making those connections, talking to people, and keeping those relationships going, because you never know, you're going to see them again. You might want to, work on a project together, which that happens a lot. And that's probably the greatest thing that could come about when you're at a show like ours, is making those connections with peers and other filmmakers, and even some of the celebrity contact. I mean, we've had people spend time and go up and talk to celebrities and say, "Hey, I got a project. I don't know if you'd be interested, but I'd love it if you would read it. Is that okay?" It's
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it is. I mean, and sometimes people aren't interested, but sometimes they genuinely are. And we have had several people make connections with potential cast and actually work with them.
Yeah, you
Many
know what?
times.
I've just on a side note, I've expressed to you guys a few times that I'd like to maybe get into some more
Yep.
acting
No, yeah.
and possibly just being in the rooms with people and making some introductions, which you guys have done for me when I've been able to attend or whatever.
Well, we're working on a couple of things now, because your specific things you've requested to do. So
So what I'd like to bring the podcast to the film festival this year, and maybe just mingle with some of the filmmakers, have them on the podcast, kind of just do some quick, either
Absolutely.
live or just maybe do some edited clips with some celebrities, some of the filmmakers, and kind of get a good exposure for the festival in general, and cross pollinate with our podcast and be able to.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
have a media
Oh, yeah.
room just for that. So that's one of the things that we can do in Indy that we don't have in Atlanta. Each offers different. The shows are a little slightly different, but the nice thing about Indy, because of the layout and the size of the show, we have a dedicated media room. So that room is where we do live script reads. We have live podcasters. We have it all weekend. So that room specifically is where you can do those interviews, and
Cool.
where other media people can come in, and we split the time. There's usually plenty of slots. So yeah, it's there, and that's exactly what we want to happen at that show. We want people to be broadcasting live, not just for themselves, but to say, "Hey, look at this incredible event. Oh, I didn't know they were going to have this." And every time this happens, people are kind of scrambling at the last second. "Hey, do you guys have room? Can I get in there?" And the agents also are saying, hey, if you guys have, time and,
It's
I've
probably
got,
good for them too.
oh
I mean,
yeah, they want to,
if you're in Indy, not to shit on Indy, because it's our city, but if they're in town for that specifically and they don't have a roster of other shit they're going to go out and do,
right.
Yeah.
why not grab some PR in a podcast
exactly.
and a radio spot or whatever you can get in on? So it's probably good for everybody, I would assume.
And it's nice. They love, I mean, the first time we did it, we weren't sure how it was gonna transpire. So that first time we had, I know, from Friday the 13th, Sardowski,
Shout out.
Jonathan Sardowski.
Oh yeah.
And Friday the 13th, the remake. That was not planned, I promise. But yeah, and it was just like
This was
so many people
for this podcast.
Yeah.
so many people that were able to do it, and it's like, this is great. And this is exactly what we wanted for people. And it didn't have to be someone that's got 1 million followers to do. No, that's not the point of it. The point is you're there's an environment, there's you want to do it and they want to do it. They want to, a lot of people, not just to get up from their table, it's just like, oh, I'm going to go do a podcast. This is really cool.
Yeah, why
and
not?
some of the,
You're already there.
yeah.
Yep.
And Joe, which thank you, Joe, because
Joe Kemp, hell
Joe
yeah.
Kemp is
Oh, yeah.
how we got introduced as well. So, in which I will just say again for the record, for the masses, Joe was my friend first.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys still? Does Harry Bean still ever do like DJ stuff with you guys, or is that?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't
No,
work
but I
with
think
Days.
I think the last time it was like
That was my initial connection to
Oh,
Days of
nice.
the Dead.
Oh, really?
Back in the
Okay,
day,
cool.
yeah. And he used to. It's a side trip, but I met him because he was hosting or doing the stage work for a festival that I was playing music at.
Oh,
at
nice.
one point.
I love that that's our connection though, is because of music,
Arts
which is
and
how you
music
know
and-
Joe.
Yep.
yeah.
And I met Joe first at work, and then because George tried to steal my friend. That's a whole nother podcast.
try to
story.
steal your
You
friend.
did try to steal my friend.
No, we just got cool real quick.
we're
and
all
I'm like,
So the
friends.
hey.
husband-wife
We're all
dynamic
we're all
in your
friends
guys'
for-
work. Let's walk through a little bit of some of the. First of all, Days of the Dead is sort of a like a grassroots for the fans by the fans kind of thing, right? And that's
Yeah.
a community that is really a tight knit group. I've noticed from the couple of times that I've been at the conventions or whatever that a lot of the same people are the same kind of vendors. They're friends with the people next to them, and so it's like a big kind of a
It is.
family
It's a
community.
big open. It's a family. It's a community. What I love about it also is when people are new, because once, like you said, people end up knowing each other, and so if there's someone new, like a new vendor, or even sometimes we're standing around like, anybody know that person? They're kind of like a loner, and they're kind of like by themselves.
It was
And
very welcoming.
And we'll ask, and that's where I was going. We'll be like, hey, does anybody know this person? I haven't seen them before, just in case. I'm like, oh, they look like they might be by themselves.
Except for that
Let's-
one little mishap in Chicago that wasn't very welcoming.
That sucked.
we don't have to talk about that if we don't want to.
But if you know, you know.
Fortunately, that's been all worked out. So I mean, yeah, we're solid
Never
now.
to be never to
Going
be
moving
had again.
forward. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's like, oh, hey, are you want to come hang out? And it's just kind of that thing. And it's not just us. We see other people doing, like, anybody know that person? And it's just because when you do this, you see a lot of people. So sometimes you are in groups and you're like, oh, someone's just kind of like standing around, just kind of observing, but they're not really engaging because maybe they don't. A lot of people can be dicks.
Yeah,
Let's just be
and
honest.
people are
But,
awkward
yeah,
also.
and-
So if
And
you
some
don't
people
know
are shy,
anybody in
yeah.
a room and you go to a party and you're just like there because somebody asked you to come and
Yeah.
you don't know a single person,
Yep.
yet your friend knows everybody there, you're gonna have a lonely ass time
Yeah,
at the
so
party.
that's why I was like, hey, come on, you guys want to hang out? Hey, let's get a drink.
But
or
you guys
something,
were good about that with me. Obviously, we have a rapport and everything, but just introducing me to filmmakers and stuff like that, which is really cool. I mean, it's obviously something that I've aspired to get into. I don't know what my deal is. I just want to do like everything: art, music, acting, all of it.
Well, see, and that's the thing. It's and I don't think I realized when I was younger that I had more than one creative outlet. I love to draw, but I can't draw for shit. So I didn't do anything besides penises and hearts, but I can draw those both very well. And
There's a niche for that.
I mean, I can only do what I can do, but the way my brain works, I always
There's a lot of
wanna do
sex
things.
shows, art shows that I have some subculture kind of friends that are into that kind of kink community and stuff, but they're like big expos. There's a lot of dicks and pussies that are
Oh yeah.
for sale as art pieces.
So there
at
you go.
these shows.
Your dick art could really take
I don't know
off.
if it could.
You could blow up your dick art career.
I mean, I need a side gig. I mean, I don't know. I need another hustle. But
There you go.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just like make them really weird or something. I don't know.
So walk us through. You were talking about the workload. We were talking about the workload, and I don't think anybody really understands what all you guys actually put into it. Because if they did, you might get more, or maybe not more volunteers and things to help out. Because there's a lot to bite off from start to finish for the show.
It is. It's not for the weak. I'll say that, because the thing is, we always ask people, make sure that you can commit, because we need you for the whole, like, so if you commit to watching short films, we need you to honor that commitment. We understand things come up, and it's not a paid job. It is a volunteer thing, but it's still, we're accountable to the people that submit to us.
So the people that you have come in and watch short films, are they part of the jury process then?
Yeah, so the only time we have people that are
And how many
on the
people
selection.
jury?
It varies from cycle to cycle, because some people can do it this cycle and then they're like, oh, this was too much, or some people are like, so it varies each cycle. But we have our core staff, and then we have other people that watch films, and then there's some, like, for certain things we might do, like, oh, we're gonna have this someone that's gonna help with specifically, like, awards or certain awards. It's like, so you're gonna watch, and then if you don't want to nominate all awards, focus on something that you really like special effects or this or that. But everybody has to, like, put in award nominations, and we have to make decisions. So it starts. So honestly, it literally starts at the beginning. We have to pick, once we know the show dates, we have to pick our submission cycle, when they're going to open, how long the submission process is going to be, how many deadlines we're going to have. Now, all through that time, films are coming in. Screenplays are coming in, music videos, documentaries. So last year we had record numbers, which was great. But the last two cycles, we keep hitting a higher number. And when you get involved with scripts, it's a longer process, because as you're reading, you're also editing. As you're reading, you're also...
Boy, I tell them to turn that into an audiobook or something, because I got other shit to do. Like, if I sat down to read something, I'm going to fall asleep.
That's the hard
I'm not
part
gonna
of
be
it.
a good jury for that. But,
That's the hard part. And the scripts take longer. So we got a little smarter this cycle, and I don't know how I missed it, but there is a way that you can cut submissions for certain categories. So we cut submissions for screenplays. So the late cycle that we're having now, that's going to be it for screenplays. Then we'll be open another 3 weeks for everything else.
So do you guys set like a max of number of individual screenplays or scripts, or
nope? We just go by what.
How many submissions do you think you get? Like hundreds?
We definitely get hundreds. It's nice to, to see each time that we have a convention, have a cycle, that those things increase. And it's not about the numbers as much as like, it's about making that we're connecting to people, and people are looking at this as a viable film fest to submit their work to, because unless you're independently wealthy, every person that submits is paying for. We don't do any waivers we don't do any.
The DIY grind is out of pocket.
Because we want to make sure that everything is treated fairly. No one that can ever say, oh, well, I didn't get in because of XYZ, or, oh, this was the circumstance. No, we give absolutely zero free waivers. Now, we do have a discount code that is available. It's through Film Freeway. If you just go on there, it's there.
So there's a film submission process. Mm-hmm. There's probably a fee for your guys' time or whatever's involved in.
Well, it's just that's it. The film. So it's the fee, and they range like from $15 when we start off the cycle for early bird,
really.
And
for your time involved. I mean,
and that's like our early bird. So it's like we always encourage people. It's like, hey, the second we open up, and it's only 10 days.
Don't be that last minute person trying to come in and drop something like the day before the deadline,
because it's going to cost you more.
Because it's going to piss off the people that have to do the work.
No,
No, we're
you know
good
what?
with
We've-
it. We take it all, and we're like, hey, we expect that last slam because it always happens.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
And I'm like,
Well, they're trying to get it perfect down to the wire, probably
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and sometimes, when people are like, oh, I got a film, but it's not going to be ready, we're like, okay, these are the cutoff dates. If you get it in here by this date, it's only going to cost you this. If you get it here, because we want to save people money, which is why we also, our alumni, for as long as we run this festival, our alumni receive 40% off of future submissions, period.
Yeah.
And
So what is that? That's
depending on if you do, it's the only, we don't
no. How do
it-
you get into the club? I mean,
Oh, as long as your film. So once each cycle, like say, like if we had 189, I'm just gonna throw a random number out there of submissions. And where was I going with that? You just asked something. I'm so sorry.
you're the alumni.
Oh, the alumni. Oh, so once your film is selected, so we go through and everything gets rated. Some films make it in, some don't. So once you become an official selection, you are now an alumni.
I got you.
Yeah, you don't have to attend. You don't have to do anything like that. It's just if we took your screenplay or your feature or your film or your music video or documentary, you're now an alumni. So if you have another project that you want to submit, it's 40% off each time.
So how many categories you guys have for the film awards?
We have 33 now.
I should have said 10 because you guys get 10 awards
Well, yeah, we
at
get
a time.
Yeah, we
in a
get
cycle.
10 deadheads.
Those are our trophy awards.
Those trophy awards, and then the other ones are certificate awards at at the end. But it's like our larger awards. Yeah, we make sure that those are trophy awards.
And we hope to graduate to more. And that's always everything is a financial decision. And
I hear you.
and what's nice is I feel like this was our 5th year, and every year or just about every year or sometimes by cycle we say, what can we do what can we do for our team, what can we do for the creators. And when we started this, we had certificates and we had plaques, and we were like, okay, that's the next year we hope to have trophies. And then Kismet happened and we ended up being introduced to you. And
Hey, by the way, we need to figure out when I need to start the next round
I
of
know
those.
it's going to be very soon.
Most definitely. Very soon.
Not to sound cool
Now,
or
no,
anything,
but-
but when I met you guys, I was like, I might be too busy to do those. I think I've done 70 of them for you guys
I think
now.
because
Yeah.
because we start
Yeah, it's definitely because this was the last one was 6th generation, right? Or was
No,
it?
last one
no,
was
the
7.
last one was 7.
Yep.
So
This'll
this is
be
going to be 8.
80, yeah.
8
So,
and 9. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
We're doing them twice a year.
been
yeah.
been
It's-
flying through them. But yeah, so at some point, if you do need more, we're gonna have to figure out a faster production method.
I know we're on
Yeah,
the
100%.
we've talked about this. Let us finish
Oh,
this
yeah.
whole shit, and then we will be like able to like do certain things with work, because this is like a full-time job on its
Same
own too.
Yeah.
juggling. I
It's-
mean, this
oh my
podcast has
gosh.
turned into my 4th full-time job, and I'm actually trying to get a full-time job on top of my full-time job. So
Because we got the film festival, we have a production company, and we're putting films in through distribution. So films that filmmakers that send their films to us, we have on there. It's like, are you interested in distribution? So if so, we can send those films. After speaking with the filmmakers, we can send those films to our distributor partners, and if they're interested in pick it up, they can make a deal, find a nice home for it. Not just feature films, but even short films.
So you guys are like an agent for distribution then.
We do that too. So that's another job. And then of course I got my regular night job. and then it's a full-time job because
Dealing with
we're
me.
having a house. Yeah, that too. But
Well, then you got the house.
we're having a house built. So I'm like, okay, making sure we get, be it, get the surveyor, clearing the land,
It's
the
been
correct
a
house
nightmare.
builder,
It's a
and
lot.
dude, it's been a
It's
nightmare.
a lot, and so just trying to juggle and stay up on everything is challenging, but this is what we signed up for.
That's right.
And sometimes life gets in with working, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, the house can wait, but I need to do this. I'm like, no, it can't, because I need to do this.
Yeah,
But
I got a foundation leak, and I'm like, I could do that, or I could answer this phone call. It's going to bring in money, so I
right,
can
exactly.
pay for the foundation leak that I have to fix. and then I got to switch gears like every 5 minutes all day long. I don't know if that means that I am bipolar or have multiple personalities or what, but I am switching hats so often throughout the day. I've just gotten used to.
And I think our
the
bodies
gear
adapt
shift,
to
you know?
the ADD brain.
It
Even
must,
if we
yeah.
didn't have it, I think we are all, if you.
That's a
my brain-
cultural thing too. That the over inundation of stimulation all the time that's in your face constantly. Like you scroll your feed and you get so much information so fast, and it's got to be the best. So you got all these creators trying to put out and they're doing it in a frenzied way because you gotta. If you're not current, you're old news.
Yeah.
So you're constantly like fighting that battle, but then just as part of the side effects of that part of society, now everybody is like constantly, America in general, and I'm not going to get into politics, but if you're working hard and we know that we can get this output out of you and we add this load onto you, then now you can work this hard for this much money and we can keep up in the load and so then everybody's kind of always like in that ADD brain.
And then I think that also makes people, sometimes the drive turns into negative instead of positive, because then you start getting people.
And then you crash.
And then in the midst of that, if you're not on the up and up with yourself, if you're not being a good person, if you're out there trying to railroad people and do really fucked up, nasty, dirty things, and that's just gonna compound on that. And then it's like, what are you gonna do now? I mean, it's,
well, that karma bites you in the ass. I mean,
exactly, karma bites you, and that's why I think that's why we're always very cautious on what we do and how we do it.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to ever be able to say, oh, well, you guys did this and this was, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to make any mistakes with stuff, but intentionally doing something fucked up, that's not how we operate. We are on the up and up. I mean, we can take it back to the thing like with like submissions and people, sending their projects to us. Yeah. There's things that we can't take. And it can be because of the content. It doesn't fit. Yeah. And because we know you as not a catalyst, and that makes things very uncomfortable sometimes. Sure. But it's the job. It's what we do.
We've even lost friendships because of that. And I'm like, really? I'm like, no, it didn't get in because of, whatever, or like
it's not ready for
the
level sometimes it needs to be, or
because for
it's
us,
not finished.
Some of it, it's just not finished. Maybe there's some heavy sound issues, whatever the case. It could be as simple as I really liked it. We really liked it, but maybe maybe it's a zombie movie. And we already have we can't be the zombie fest. And I'm like, okay, we can only really take just a handful of these.
Deadhead is a zombie.
Yeah. It's just like, so it's just like,
that's why
exactly.
Need to be coming out.
So it's like, we can only take, that was probably a bad example. And so vampire movies, we can't be the vampire fest. I'm like, so someone's like, well, we've already got these, and these are just a little bit stronger than your project. And like, why don't you take mine? Personal. It's just kind of like, we've gotten, even from friends, it's just like, what the fuck, you didn't take my film? I'm like, God, man, I'm serious. It's not a personal thing. Because they're thinking, we're upset with you.
Tensions run high, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I'm not upset with you.
Yeah. You know what I've been doing lately, and this is also just kind of a different topic here, but I recently went through some personal transitions in my life, and literally a week of like lifting that stress off of me. I mean, the clear path that I have to manifesting shit and stuff coming together and getting those phone calls and those opportunities.
But you weren't even trying, though, when it happened. You just
but as soon as I lost some of that stress, all that stuff just started coming my way again.
Dude, that's the secret.
It is. It's one of them
really
for
is
sure.
The secret.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something I've noticed in my life, and I try to maintain that balance. I've also been sober as fuck for like a couple of months now, which thank you, but trust me, I want to go back to it sometimes. But
if you need a break and you're getting, when you need a break,
that puts me mentally in a clear path to the shit that I'm trying to get as my goals. It deletes a lot of that stress level shit that I was dealing with. And then all of the good things can happen. When you find yourself in that, like, go, constant pressure, constant stress, everything takes a shit. I mean,
Yeah.
your health, your
Yep.
progress, your output, your relationships, all of that takes a
All
shit
of it.
when you're under that constant stress and pressure all the
Mhm.
time. Probably good that you guys have each other to kind of bounce shit off
Yeah,
of.
and we got a
Yeah.
good team, and it's so funny because, and I'm gonna say this because I don't. She's never gonna watch it anyway, and I don't care if she does. But my sister has said more than one time that this isn't a real job, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm about to knock your head off because it is a real job. But
Yeah.
but when
Just
my
like,
parent, I
dude.
mean, I would before
Yeah,
we
visual art's not a real job either,
Yeah,
but it just bought me a house, so
Yeah. It's
and
just
it,
like, dude, it's like you have any idea on how much time and work we put into this. And a lot of the people that we have helped with their careers, as filmmakers, like they would beg to differ. And like, it's like, oh, wow, I got my film is now being shown to millions of people. It's like on Screambox,
that's the thing
all
about the
other
arts, man.
ones.
It's not a
Yeah.
job until you're like you surpassed everyone you know, and you're up here with it, and they start to realize that, oh, you know what? Maybe this fucking shit is,
Yeah.
really doing something.
yeah, and it so
Nobody
when
sees the all the tears
All
and
the-
Oh
shit.
yeah, and as you were mentioning before, it's just like keep raising the bar, and as far as like working, and eventually you get it pushed up enough to where you
Man,
are.
I don't care if you want to
Yeah.
be the best shoe salesman on the planet.
Yeah.
If you get up for work and you go try to sell shoes every day,
Right.
eventually you're going to get to where you're trying to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's because
And
you
then-
got
And that's in anything.
And you
Yep.
get you
I'm
get
not saying
high
at,
enough. Oh, yeah.
at 40, I'll be 47 in a couple weeks. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that I can go start my NBA career now or anything.
Right.
But there
if you
there
go get
is
some titanium knees, maybe I don't know about you. And
yeah.
you're like, I'm ready.
but there is a real opportunity. It's like now I might want to shift over to acting. If
Yeah.
anything that you put enough time into, eventually you can get somewhere with. And I don't care what it is. So everything's a real job if you put enough hours in.
Exactly.
yeah.
And I feel like my part of I lost so many years after my accident, so I feel like once I got the drive to do something, and once I because I had all the, I mean, I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I mean, it was taking a toll on our relationship, not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
we were at the point where it's like, you can like drop down to 4 days. I'm making great money. Guess he was doing all the stuff with the kids anyway. He was going on all the field trips, getting to
Yep.
do all the fun stuff because he worked nights and he could do that. But I realized that once you start down that path, you got to find something else to fill it with, because I was constantly working, and that was my makeup. And so I was just like, oh my God, I can't sit here. I can barely move. I wasn't walking. I was just losing my shit. I was doing a lot of crosswords when I could stay awake from the medication. But I think once my head started clearing, I was like, I got to have something to do. I can't function like this. And that's where all of this happened. It was kind of born out of necessity, maybe, but I've always
So
been
is
a
this
fan.
podcast,
I've al-
actually.
see, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've always been a fan, and I was like, I have to do something. And I think he saw like, okay, she's not as irritable. She's not as, whatever. We're doing this. And it was funny. It did kind of bring me back to life, but I'm an ambitious person. I don't stop with, oh, this is good enough. And it's like, okay, how can it be better? And I think when we started,
Oh, man, I'm so anal retentive, especially when it comes to anything creative. It's like, if I put something out and it's not to my liking, I will live with that for the rest of my life.
but yeah,
Oh,
You know,
I
it'll
get
haunt
that.
me for the longest. Yeah.
So I mean, there's something to be a perfectionist, and then there's something to just letting it be okay and putting it out, just to get it off your plate. Like when you overload yourself, which I tend to do. Like when I finish a project, I pick up 2 more, and I've always been that way. I get so fucking burned out with running a business sometimes that I just want to go back to a regular job. So I'm actually trying to get it back to working for someone else. Actually, one of my clients. I'm probably going back to work, and hopefully for them, and hopefully soon. But I'll get so burned out from working 7 days a week, 12 to 18 fucking hours a day on whichever direction that I'm going in,
Right.
that I'll just fucking shut down for a couple hours or a day or whatever, because I just can't process it anymore. I get to that point sometimes. And this podcast started basically because, like, it's fresh. This is cool. I get to talk to people about what they're doing, expose people to the other opportunities and network off of each other. Like a lot of the people that I've had on here so far, and that now that we've had a lot of, this is only our third show, but the people that I will be having on here, I've got a relationship with in one way or another, and we can cross pollinate and help each other and build that. And all of that is fresh to me.
Yeah.
So I tend to do the what's next thing all the time, to my own detriment sometimes. Like instead of sticking to one vein, and I'll get to a certain point where I feel like I've got some success in that, and then I'm like, okay, I did that, and then I want to switch gears. So this is fresh. It stays fresh because I got a constant new thing going on, and then we get to also sit and like cross talk about each other's projects and cross network and that kind of thing.
Speaking of projects, are you able to talk about anything that you've got going on? Because I know we know a little bit about some stuff you're doing, but I didn't know if it was things have progressed yet with one of your big.
Well, I'm still, that bronze thing is still in the works. I was talking to Mary about that on the last show. She's actually my art pimp. I call her but she's my art consultant, and she's the liaison with the client for me.
Okay.
But we did touch on that a little bit. I got a call from Newfields actually this week, or
Nice.
an email that want sculptures for their gardens, and whether or not I'm able to manifest that into my life or not, and that's actually going to happen, that would be a long-term thing, probably.
I can put some good juju out for that.
Like 5 to 10 life-size sculptures for their gardens. And that's was the IMA, which is now Newfields. And,
I miss
walking
old
through
IMA.
there as a child, and staring at art and dreaming about having anything to do with having my art on the walls as a kid, to then getting them to call me and ask for my art to be part of their thing is like, it's surreal. I mean, and my client list is insane. I'm actually fortunate, and I don't know if I can talk about this or not. I don't. They're not gonna watch it, and I don't really give a shit. But I'm doing something for, and I may not get the job over this. Who knows?
Well, then we don't want that.
Maybe
No, but you know what? But it's not. They came to me.
Yeah.
This is so like the exhibit house is a place that 10 years ago I tried to get jobs at places like that.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't work with me until I developed my own thing. And now they're coming to me as a client asking to outsource stuff to me. So right now I'm doing a couple things for the Eli Lilly Museum that they're doing.
Congrats, man.
So I'm like a third party contractor vendor for them for that. And just to be in the same rooms with some of these big ass corporations and names and things. I mean, it's really, I mean, I guess I feel like I have arrived and
validated.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
And you were always there. It's just certain, when it gets to the
like
ears
one
of people,
person removed from it all the time until the door opens.
Until it is, exactly. Yep. And I think and I love that the door open, because the segue of that is, I feel like that's honestly why we are doing what we're doing as well. Not just we started off as fans, and then we saw things ran, and we decided we wanted to run our event a certain way. And we are running our event the way we want to run it. We are running it with trust, integrity, and we want to be that pathway for people to get in the door and go surpass us, leave us, go on forget about us in 5 years. That's fine, because
all right, slow down on that. Don't forget about it.
I know. But what I'm saying is, we don't want this. We want this to be the beginning and not someone's end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want, hey, we got this great film, and whether it gets distribution or not, or whether it goes to other festivals, we like it. We think it has value. And even when we don't love films, we see films that are so unique or have just something to them. We're like, you know what? They may not be for us, but we know they're for the masses. We know that there's an audience.
Even if we don't have enough, we don't have enough program space, because we only have so much time within the weekend to show films. We even considered, it's like, all right, well, does it make sense to extend it? Or we can't be like, what was it? Film Quest are like 10 days.
Film Quest is 10 days, which is awesome.
I'm like,
exhausting probably though.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm like, I can't imagine
10,000 volunteers. No,
it's like, to try to fit that in there. But we consider kind of open it up. But at the same time, we want to keep it as tight of a show to where every single film that does get in. So we've spoken to many other filmmakers, and they've gone to other film festivals, and they're saying sometimes as they're watching their film and what it's paired with, or even just watching other blocks, within there, they're just like, they're like, my film showed and it was great, or my film, it screened, but some of the other ones were kind of weak, and they were like thinking, shit, am I looking at my film through like rose-tinted glasses?
Yeah.
It was like, is it not as good as what I think it is? And
well, that's one of the things that I was talking about this last episode too, is like, my stuff doesn't work in certain markets. It doesn't mean it's shit.
Right.
It just means it doesn't work in that environment. You may have people in the room that day that are in a foul mood, or just not, vamping with the film that's on the screen in that hour.
Right,
sometimes.
exactly, yeah.
But then show it to them next week, and they may love it, or show it in a room, 2 blocks away, and it'll be an entirely different thing.
And we've had people say, I saw this on another festival, and I really didn't care for it. And it was like, maybe I just was. And he said exactly that. Maybe it wasn't that day, or I was tired, or I got in. And he was like, and I saw it here, and he was just like, I didn't remember it being that good, and I really liked it. And I'm like, circumstance, it
well, it goes into programming, and it's making sure that you program it. Like, I really have a rhythm with things. I didn't think I'd really enjoy programming movies and getting the timings right, but it's almost like
putting them back to back in sequence.
Like
this one complements this one throughout the day.
Exactly.
In the block.
Scheduling stuff,
making sure it's just like comedy stuff works with other comedy stuff, and it just and then it just flows. So the whole day has
you have to segue it throughout. The
it's almost like like when I was a kid, and it's like I'm going through the TV guide. It's just like I'm old. It's just like, so I'm like marking what
you mean Victoria's Secret catalog. Am I right?
But it's just like I'm flipping through the TV guide, and I got a highlighter. I'm like, okay, I'm watching this hour. I'm watching this hour, and I'm like marking all my stuff that's just like I gotta watch, and it's like my own programming. And so then I'm like, all right, I want to do the exact same thing, and I'm doing it with the film festival. So usually on the Saturday nights, you can almost always guarantee that, because I want to end it the Saturday night with like a little bit of levity. So it'll be something that's like comedy, a comedy block usually I end it with, because I don't want to end it with like a doom and gloom. So once the night's over, it's really just kind of like, you're just kind of like, well, shit, I'm going to go to my room by myself and just like
shoot
drink
myself.
And I'm like, no, it's like, I want people to laugh.
That's why we don't play drama and shit.
Oh yeah, it's just like, what you want to laugh. It's like you have some drinks and just chill. Yeah, exactly. So it's
play
doing
a
that
slasher film at the end of the night that's gonna get people all jazzed up to end on a good note, on a high note.
In February,
like that. Not that there's anything wrong with melancholy films.
We'll do that during the day.
But you gotta you have to create the energy for the festival.
Oh yeah. Like you start out, you might want to even start out with those lower tones, with something where you're just like, man, this is dark. And I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna open our Saturday morning with it. And I'm like, so we're like, holy shit. It's like, all right. And then make sure your next block is a nice uptick. And it's just like, so it flows well. So people aren't just like, okay, I'm feeling really down. It's just like, and it just keeps going down. So it's just like, you got to hit the rhythms. And so I'll do that. I guess it's kind of like, when doing music, it's just like, you got to find the rhythm.
The success of the entire thing is built off of the energy that you have to be the driver of.
Yeah.
You're the deciding factor on how everybody else's time is going to go.
Yeah. And usually he does the blocks, or we'll start sliding them, and then the order, and George is the guru of that. And then every now and then I'm like, I don't know about that one, or maybe we can pair this one, and then we have alternative blocks. Sometimes because of distribution and things like that, like even if it's not with us, if it's through the process and we're right about to show it, sometimes films have gotten pulled. So it's like, well, we got to have an alternative just in case. And so we've built those in case something goes screwy. So it's always planning for the unknown. It's always
expect the unexpected and be ready for it whenever it happens, and have a contingency plan in case that happens.
You guys were telling me the last time I saw you at the Indianapolis show that you were just having like production issues.
Tech
Well, and
issues,
we
yeah.
do the same shit. It's lighting or microphones, audio's not doing what it's supposed to do or focus. I don't know what he's dealing with over here, but he's doing a lot of clicking today. So I'm hoping that we've got everything captured. But you deal with that in anything. You just
A lot of the tech issues are my fault, or it's literally the last 2 years in a row in Indy, the newest Mac that we have has gone and just decided it's going to reboot itself and so I don't update on it because I like shit the way it is. I don't want to update it. And for no reason, never did it at home, it doesn't do it when I go to the library. It's not like I don't use the computer.
Just when you need it really bad.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, this time I was just shaking. I mean, I was trying to fix it and George was, trying to help. And then one of the filmmakers was helping.
I'm not very helpful. I'm tech stupid.
It was just like, I was so distraught. I was just, like I'm trying to do it and type and get it together, and then we were able to get it.
Don't worry, you only got like 200 people waiting on you.
Dude, hundreds.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, so we're trying to keep that, manage that stress.
So that's like a crash moment. Tell me about like one of your favorite celebrity interactions that you've had.
Oh gosh. Man. Okay, I'll do mine, which might be yours, but I'm gonna do mine. Okay, so in 2021, we had just gotten hired at Days, and that was in like October because we were down in Florida for
good month to start.
Yeah. So that was October, right? Because it was we were down there for Spooky, and so we had gotten hired, and then we literally officially got the job in November. It was like that week after. So let's say the beginning of November.
We just started it. We started Film Freeway in November. We got the job at the end of October at Spooky Empire.
And so 2022 was our first year. And that November, there was an event in Chicago. So we went to the Chicago event for just a day. We wanted to meet a couple of people.
I tried that.
Yeah. It might have been that same.
I was told you're not allowed to do that as a vendor.
And so we're there, and I really wanted to meet Lou Gossett Jr. We wanted to meet him, and so we met Lou Gossett Jr. And as soon as we walk up to his table, he's just smiling at us, just smiling, and he's still a very handsome man, and he, and I've been watching him since I was a kid. I mean, just Officer and the Gentleman, Soldier Story. That's the first one I remember him in. So it's telling my age, but that's okay because those were dope ass movies, and he was nominated and won for that one. And we were just talking to him and telling him how much we appreciate his work. And he was just like, you two, he was like, beautiful couple. And he was like, how long have you guys been together? And we were
just a genuinely
nice guy. And he was and so he was asking what we were doing. We were like, oh, well, we just got a job here. I was like, we've been coming to this convention for years, but we just got a job and we knew you were going to be here. Our festival is going to be in February. And
he's like, good luck.
Yeah, no, he was so sweet. No, he was literally so sweet. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to be at that one. And we were like, well, we hope you do come. And it was just one of those genuine moments of meeting someone that I have just one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah.
Inspirational. I mean, that's right up. Lou Gossett is right there with Morgan Freeman for me. Those are like, and James Earl Jones.
Because
it's like those trifecta of.
He can do great dramatic stuff, and then at the same time, great comedy. Because I have like two favorites with him, and it's it's the big one. Growing up was Enemy Mine, and I'm like, man, it's just kind of like that's a deep story. Oh, it's great. It's ultimately.
I definitely don't watch as much TV or film as you guys do.
And then there was Firewalker, and that's a
natural because it's your job to do that. But
like the best action comedy was Firewalker, him and Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, dude, it's like that is like one of the best like buddy action comedies. Mm-hmm. Like,
so,
ever.
What's your favorite celebrity interaction?
All right.
Oh, I know what yours is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. How much you're gonna be able to.
No, I can say that. I'm here. It's all good.
Like I had an orgy with.
Not like that. So We had
There's no
our
video.
very first our very first show was in Atlanta. Our cycle was ridiculously short, so it was like only like 6 weeks we were
6
open,
weeks.
and we were able to make a film festival. And if you know, like that window of time is ridiculously small, and we were able to put a film festival together, and it worked. That's just insane. But our first award was back then we only did plaques, so we didn't have you yet, but we had that top award. This is the best in show. We call it our Bad Motherfucker Award.
Oh yeah.
And so I was just like, well, we got Phil Anselmo that's going to be at the show. I was just like, I want to ask to see, which that was the catalyst of every single time I try to get a celebrity to give away our Bad Motherfucker Award, always. And so Phil Anselmo, I had to ask him. I was like, because the name of it was Bad Motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that's
The baddest motherfucker.
That's the
That's up
baddest
his alley.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I asked him, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, cool." So he did that, really cool, nicest dude. Even did a Q&A after the film that he was in. He was in a documentary that came through the festival.
History of horror and metal.
Hell yeah!
I just went to fucking Pantera over the last summer or whatever when they were in town. It was
Oh, it's a great show, man. They sound great.
Zach Wild on
man.
guitar.
Yep. But
but doesn't Bill work with him?
Bill was he was working with them for a while. He did like early on, even whenever he was young, like a lot of even the home video stuff. It was Bill filming some of that stuff. I'm like, that's just crazy. I'm like, I had no idea. And so yeah, he was doing that and was always a part of them. He got Phil Anselmo was talking about Bill getting him Mike Tyson's autograph. He's just like, man, Phil got me Mike Tyson's autograph, because he's Phil Anselmo's like a huge boxing fan. So, but at the end of the show, so I'm waiting for my car to take me to the airport, and Phil Anselmo's out there. Him, his missus, and his security, Eric, and so I went over to him. I said, Mr. Anselmo, was like, appreciate everything you did for us, announcing the award. Great meeting you. I was just like, been a fan for a long time. And is it cool if I get a picture with you? I was like, I never had the time to get it. He was just like, yeah. He was just like, George, of course. And so we get in here, and I'm like, oh, I'll get everybody in here. And
He was so happy.
take a picture. He says, and I didn't even notice or smell anything, but he was just kind of like, hey, George. Smoke weed, brother? Now, thing is, I hadn't for years.
You're like, but I'm gonna right now.
I was just kind of like, well, and I recently, within that time period, I'm like, I dabbled back into it a little bit. But it was horrible because since I hadn't in years, I was just like, I got all weird and awkward. When I used to be just fine. I used to be multi.
That happens.
Yeah, like I was a.
That's how I get when I smoke weed anymore. So I just don't do it.
Yeah, and I don't do it anymore either because it's the same thing. So I was just
Makes
like,
me fucking stupid.
Which is funny because I used to be the kind of person that just every single day, I'm like, it was just constantly smoke. But now it's just like, since I hadn't in a long time.
To quit and go back to it, it's like a whole different. My brain, and I smoke weed, and I like something that takes me 5 minutes now takes me 30.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
so the second he was just kind of like, hey, George, you smoke weed, brother? And I said, yes, I do. And so he passes me, and so we're we're smoking. I'm like thinking, and it's surreal because at the moment I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm smoking weed with Phil Anselmo, and I'm like, the kid in me would have just lost my shit because
you'll never get that back, so you might as well.
Because that's my favorite band. And then of course, it's our kid's birthday, so I'm calling him on his birthday, and I'm like, I'm not doing good. I'm like going to the airport, and I'm like
can you call
geeked out a little bit. I'm like, can you call our kid? I'm like, I really, but I'm not in the great headspace. And she was like, oh shit. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you for getting him.
A little allergic to cats.
Oh, can you come sit with me? No.
No.
You just gonna pack her off my boob?
That cat sees me every week, so it's trying to have a relationship with me.
She's
But
like, you're free, or he's
if
free.
I touch that cat, I'm gonna be looking like I'm high as fuck because my
and I don't
eyes are
have
gonna
my
get all
EpiPen.
puffed
Usually
out.
it's in my purse, but I change purses. No Epi.
But that was my big one, man. Was Phil Anselmo and smoking with him. I was just like,
And
Yeah,
just-
when I was in Chicago and I brought my puppy Chop,
Chop.
he was just a baby.
He was a baby.
Baby bulldog, cute as hell. like kind of earlier in the day. What's the actor's name that plays like Tig on Sons of Anarchy?
Kim Coates.
Okay, so earlier in the day, like he seemed kind of like, I don't know, just not really approachable.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody got a hold of my dog, passed it to him, and he turned into a big teddy bear. You know?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that.
So taking that puppy around the festival just got all the celebrity love.
Oh yeah, we've
Oh,
had cats
100%.
there. Like there's been people that bring their cats. We've had like an eagle. We've had it was an eagle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, yeah. There was been an eagle and an owl.
An owl.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen. Yeah,
Of
there's
course,
cool
we've had the
stuff.
ferrets and
Snakes probably.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, and then
yeah.
there's a dog. I can't remember the dog that rides in the Army Humvee, and he has a little siren. He howls, so when it's time, he'll he's a little hound dog, and he's got his
It's a
goggles
very
on. It's-
kind of like family oriented event, pet friendly, which is cool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the kid, and the thing I love is first responders, military, kids under 12 are free with a paid, with an adult, and I love that Bill honors that hey, if you're in the military, you're first you get in free. Great, now you
Yeah.
can bring your kids, and it. Oh, and even if they don't have it, they still can bring a kid in with them, or kids under 12.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody gets in for free, they're probably still going to buy something.
Oh
you know?
yeah, and
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
time people use their con money. Like they'll come there with a budget, and I always tell people, and please, folks, listen. This is good advice. I promise. I always tell people when you come in, especially if this is your first convention or if it's your first time at that particular convention, anyone you're going to, when you go through the vendor hall, do a lap around everything because you will not make it off the first or second aisle and all your money is going to be gone and they're going to be like, oh, I released all this and now I want it. So
Yeah.
it's like literally go to both vendor rooms, kind of walk around and see what's there and then kind of make your
I'm into
decisions, 'cause
oddities and
it's
shit. I
hard.
bought some
Yeah.
weird stuff there. I bought a squid. What do you call it? Anthropomorphized or whatever. A squid in a jar in alcohol, and then I actually turned it into a piece of art and put it underneath a pirate ship, and I reposed it, and because I'm a weirdo, so I like reposed.
That wasn't the one we saw with the lights, was it? That was different, right?
It had lights, and it was a pirate ship on top of it, and I
remember the octopus, but not as pirate ship. Maybe it was two different
Well,
pieces.
no. I did an octopus chandelier, but I
purple,
bought a
wasn't it?
squid in a jar
Oh, I
at,
got you.
at-
That's what you used.
at Days of the Dead, and then I turned it sideways. So trying to figure out how to seal it properly in a custom jar was a problem by itself. But then I finally got that figured out, and I brought it to Chicago, and unfortunately, I had to pack in a hurry. So when I left and got home, I opened my hatch, and that glass jar just hit the the latch that holds your door shut.
Yeah.
Just hit it, just
Just
tink,
right.
just right, and busted that open.
my
So I have to redo the
Aw.
jar, but I did save it from salvage it. But yeah, there's some weird shit there if
I
you walk
love-
around
Oh, yeah.
and check out. There's obviously tons of horror themed stuff, but there's other stuff as well. I mean, it's just a cool vendors and
you can
unique
find
artists. There's lots of artists that make their living going around doing
Mm-hmm.
vendor stuff. Some of them do the circuits of horror stuff specifically, which you guys have exposed me to and opened up my eyes to some of the way that that's done. Which also you introduced me to the guys at like Popcorn Frights, and they asked me to do an award, and unfortunately this didn't happen. But I did the award for Lifetime Achievement Award for Tony Todd, who
nice.
happened to die like before he could receive it, which sucks.
Damn.
But it was nice to be in the ring for that and have my
Yeah.
name in the hat and to be able to do that kind of thing. But you guys do Memory Lane Productions, but before you did Days of the Dead, what were you doing?
We were so we started off as volunteers with Horror Hound in 2012
12.
or
Yeah.
11.
It was 2012.
12.
Well, we
Did you guys
first
meet
went
at
to-
a horror convention?
Nah.
No, we actually
I was a
met.
bouncer.
He was a bouncer. It is
Yeah.
like one of the
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like one of those
Roadhouse style.
kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, we had
It
known.
was
So
rough.
he was a bouncer. We would always talk and kind of flirt, and not even so much flirt. We just talked about music and movies. Just kind of like it was like, oh, because I didn't have a lot of people in my life that liked the same things. No, none of my friends were really into metal, so I went to a lot of concerts by myself. I went to a lot of movies by myself. I just kind of did my thing, and then so when because I ended up talking to him, just kind of fucking with him because he's standing there just. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, every time I come here, I'm ready to like have fun and party. You're
playing the
standing there
role.
like,
Working.
you know,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. In a
I
way,
know why,
I've been a door
because-
guy
'cause-
before.
Yeah, I hated it. I'm like, it was just, I liked it. Like, I look back and I'm like, okay, it wasn't as bad. But at the same time, I'm like there, and it's just like, it's just got these either drunk assholes or there's a fight.
Were you
and I'm
working
like,
at a gentleman's club or?
no, it was so Circle Center Mall downtown.
Oh.
There
You
was
remember the
the
Mardi
bars
Gras
that were
bars.
up there.
I did a show there. It's like
Yeah.
a fucking ghost town now.
So it is, man, and I was just like,
crazy.
it's a shame to see that those went, because it was cool that each bar had
They
its
did
own
have
identity.
some cool places when it first
Oh,
opened.
God,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
that-
I started off
Like a
with World-
4-story bar that was like
Yeah, that's
arcade
the
and a
four-
bowling
yeah.
alley and all
like you
kinds of
had
shit.
like Flashbacks was like an 80s one, then you had your sports bar with Jackass Flats that later became, they renamed it Brewski's, and then the bar that I first started working at was World Mardi Gras, so that was like the center
Oh,
bar, and then we had a lot of live bands that came through there. And then the other one, the last one was Gators. That was they played like
You
house
look like
music.
a fucking secret agent with those glasses, dude. Those glasses are fucking badass.
Oh,
Though.
thanks, man.
Don't you like fucking?
Oh, yeah.
You need a fucking earpiece,
Wait,
dude.
so I just picked those up on Thursday.
Blue team,
and,
go.
And so and when he goes and he gets them and puts them on, and I was just like, let me just put on my phone, and I brung up a picture of oh damn, why am I having the brain like
dude
Robert Vaughn.
Robert Vaughn from Man from Uncle and stuff, yeah.
Because you know that was his thing. He had the tinted big shades, and I was just like, you're looking over here like Robert Vaughn, and I'm like, you can't be sitting over there looking all cute like that with your glasses on.
You can't take them off now. You gotta
I
fucking.
know.
You gotta
Actually,
rock
the
'em.
thing is funny. The second I took them off, I'm like, I can see her but I can't see you for shit. Like, you're blurry as shit. That's how bad my vision's gotten. I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, okay, now I
It's
can
hell
see
getting
now.
younger, isn't it?
Oh, dude.
I wish.
Yeah.
Rewind and
So
retro.
back to and I won't take up too much more of your time
Oh,
because
you're good.
we've been
We're
doing this,
We're conversing.
Yeah.
and we can edit the long shit out anyway. But so back to what you guys met at. You were working at a nightclub, and then fast forward, you guys started working at Horror Hound together. You found that
Yep.
you had the same interest in horror, which is cool.
Well, we've had that forever. Like,
But
literally,
that's what I mean. You
oh,
guys,
yeah.
you guys have. It's great to have a partner that you really have a lot of shit in common with.
Yeah, 'cause
If
we
I can
really
find
enjoy
somebody
doing
that
stuff.
enjoys the shit that I enjoy, I might stay with that person.
And make
I don't
sure,
know.
and when
Oh,
the
yeah.
guys like her, she's a keeper. Like literally, I mean, I am surrounded by the best people. I am.
Yeah.
If something happens to this man, I'm cool. I'm good. Between the family, but mainly his friends, the people that I've known as long as we've been together.
Sure.
Good group of people. And I was going with
Horror
that because I was
Hound.
trying to answer your
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Horror Hound, our first one, 2011.
So you said 2012.
Well, I'll get there.
Oh, you're
so we were just so I tell her, I'm like, hey, you got to come down here. My dad was just like, hey, you want to meet George Romero? There's a horror convention. I'm like, they have horror conventions? And he says, yeah, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, I want to meet George Romero. Go up there Saturday with my old man and meet him. And I tell Audrey, I'm like, you got to get down here. I'm like, this is some cool shit. She says, I'm not going to one of your stinky ass conventions again, because there was she went to a comic book convention with me, and there was a guy that he smelled a mixture of
Sleaze bag.
of butt and brute cologne, and it's just kind of like, and she got sick on the shoes, and she was like, get me out of here. So I was just
no,
like,
I literally
okay.
threw up
She
on
got-
Jabroni's
yeah,
shoes
and
because
she
he
was
wouldn't.
just-
He was
yeah.
blocking my exit, and he
So
wouldn't.
she
move.
comes over to me and she was just like, get me out of here. I was just like,
No.
I'm like, Dad, I got to go. Another thing, I went with my dad because my dad was a big comic book guy. So we go to Horror Hound, being the first one, and I'm like, hey, get down here. She eventually goes, and she's like, this is pretty awesome. This is a lot of fun. We volunteer,
was
and
great.
our first time, it was the very next year, we volunteered in 2012. Started doing that, and then eventually you were operations manager. Is that it?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
So
she-
we started,
Yeah, and then I became the head of security,
and we both wrote
because that's
for the
what
magazine.
I knew.
We
Then
We're on the
eventually-
film
yep.
festival selection committee. We
Yep.
volunteered. We, like you said, yeah. And so we had those roles, and then
Eventually became directors. So you go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Was that part of Memory Lane Productions? You guys doing
Oh,
your own
God,
production,
no.
your own films?
Well, no,
Not then.
not then.
Oh, you mean directors of the festival?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, directors of the festival.
I was like, that
Yeah.
took a turn. You guys were directing films?
Oh,
No, not until that was only within the last,
Yeah.
few years.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's
We
only
had
for
been
that.
unofficial consultants on many things, punched up some scripts, gave some advice, but that was
Yeah.
all, hey, can I send this to you? And, that's where it gets, slippery. It's like, yeah, but if we're looking at this now, it can't come through the festival. If you're just wanting us to take a look at it and help you like navigate some things or give you some, if that's what you're asking, then yes, because we can't like do that and punch up, like help someone with something and then they submit it, because then now we're not, or we
so
can
why
do.
would somebody submit a script to you guys? Like, I mean, it's obviously, you would think you would submit your scripts to, film directors, production companies, that sort of
Well,
thing.
good question. So I think, so we do have multiple prizes for, we call them real world prizes for scripts, which at the time we had one called Sound of Scripts. They would turn the winning script into an audio play. So that's like a calling card. So if you're trying to get funds for a feature version of your film, or you're just like, hey, I want to do something with this because it is not just an award, it's something tangible that I can use as a calling card that I can use to promote myself.
Yeah.
And so which was a really cool prize. And then we have Coverage Inc., which gives script coverage. So let's say you are, you want to know, does your script meet certain criteria? So coverage is from professionals that have been doing this a lot. They get people towards agents, people that can make decisions, especially if they want to get it in front of someone to potentially get it produced. That's a really good prize for that. Coverage Inc. is one of the leading businesses. They've been around 22 years. If that's who you want to do your script. So we have been very lucky to partner with people that can help take someone else's project to the next level. And we always tell people.
So they see you guys as a good kind of bridge between.
Yeah, because it's not just films, and I think we every year we've tried to add something extra for screenwriters, because there's a lot of awards for films, but we don't have as many, but we have more now because we only had a couple at the beginning. Now we have.
Well, not everybody
6.
has a budget to make a film,
Right?
and you got to start somewhere. So you start with a script, you get it in front of some people. Maybe somebody's going to help you out. Maybe it's going to turn into a film. What do you think is the lowest budget, best film that you see? You guys probably don't have any idea about people's budgets.
Well,
and stuff,
actually,
right?
we kind of do, because
they do.
They fill it out, or we have talked to them, or they'll tell us. But most people are. Some people, I think, gauge it a little high, gauge it a little low, and there's many reasons to do that. But as far as something that was, I think, maybe,
like shot on an iPhone, or like just really kind of a no money film that went into into your guys' radar and
that's
became
hard, because we've had a lot, I think, that were. But I'm trying to think of a standout that.
I mean, for me, like now, but it was not a no money film. It was a lot, but what they were able to do looked like it was cost way more. There was a movie that just recently got picked up by Screenbox, The Demon.
The Demon.
The Demon. That was that looked great.
Well, people shoot pilots too, right? And then
we've had
and
some
then
pilots.
get it and then redo it later. If it's starts to get some recognition, you can submit it as a pilot and then come back, and when you have a budget, and remake the film. Right?
And actually, we are producing a pilot. We've been trying to get that picked up. And there was interest, but between us and the other producers, we all collectively said, you know what, instead of paying them to get us in front of people, we will work our asses off to get us all in front of people. And it was the gamble, because they'd been in a situation like that with the previous film, where it's like, oh, we're not gonna, pay to play. And I get it. It's like, okay, give us $3,500 up front and we will get you to where we need to go. It's like, no, we'd rather you get us where we need to go, and you can take that money off the back end.
I've always been really resourceful in the way that if I have an idea, I don't give a shit if I have the money
Mhm.
or the everything figured out. If I want to do something, I want to fucking figure it out as I go along. And
Yeah.
it's gotten me to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing.
And with distribution, that typically works, but with production of a series, it's a little more intricate because
There's a lot of planning involved.
a lot of planning,
Oh, yeah.
and then you take your role as if you're, it's a more, you're paid by episode, but they'll do the whole series for X amount. If they'll do the whole series for 1.5 million. Okay, great, but then where do to get to that point, and that's fine. And we've had some success on our own. We're recalibrating a little bit of how we're doing it, but that's how we're doing it. But that's still the ultimate goal, is to get that series produced, and it's going to be such a good series.
So
and
where do people get the money? Where do they get the funding from? I mean,
so some people
sponsorships or like,
well, so some people self fund, some people crowd fund, which would be like your GoFundMe's. I'm sorry, no,
yeah,
but they
Indiegogo.
still GoFundMe's,
Yeah.
Indiegogo, Spark and Seed. There's a lot of alternatives out there. You just have to pick the one that aligns best with what you're trying to
niche.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that there's the bigger ones that people go the
I actually
big
saw
ones.
somebody on Facebook randomly the other day was doing a crowdfunding for a film that they're trying to produce. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can do that, but crowdfunding is great and it is very helpful. But if you try to, my opinion, and people will disagree, and some people will agree. My opinion, and this is from my perspective, it's very hard to completely self-fund a film because there's always going to be money that's needed.
unless
And
you
if
got
you're-
them D pockets.
well, or you have to plan. And I think a lot of times people don't plan. They're like, I'm going to do it, but they haven't really actually put it to paper and plan. Like one of the ones we're working on, we thought we'd be further along, but since we are self-producing and we might we're going to crowdfund, but there's things that have to be done ahead of time. You have to have your performers. You have to have your set. You have to know what money is coming out. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to make this movie. I don't have any idea what these things are going to cost, but I'm going to do it. And so then you start to crowdfund and then you're stuck because instead of 50,000, you need it closer to 80,000. And some of those funds could have been negated if you had planned a little better and got things ahead of time, locations, performer commitments and things like that, so you know where you're spending the bulk of your money.
At
And
which
each
level do
production
people
is-
stop working for free? I mean, because that's the other thing with trying to do a film or a production is there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of bodies and a lot of people that are
Yeah.
dedicating their time. And so, I mean, people want to be compensated in some way or another, but like beer and pizza doesn't exactly cut it on.
Not all that. That's more. You're going to
doesn't.
help us move, and so those
Yeah.
are the things you have to consider. Even if it's a low wage, it still needs to be a wage.
Yeah, at least something, and then eventually, like I'm a firm believer in, if I got to start out, and if I have to do something for free initially, and then I'll build myself up to where I am irreplaceable, and then I can negotiate more of a price there.
And no,
I'm like, I make sure that it's just kind of like, it's like, okay, so if I walk, you're screwed. And I'm like, so let's talk about something. And then, hey, worst case scenario, if I got to walk, no, I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm like, so I'm going to follow through with what I say. So I have to be prepared at that moment. If I'm
Well,
going
there's
to, it's
the
not an
difference in
empty threat.
having an artistic craft and
Yeah.
that's something that you're doing as a labor of love, and then something that you do as a profession, and
Right.
the bridge between those two. It's like this podcast is a startup, so it's like
Yeah.
he's invested money into getting this stuff together, and I've invested a little bit of money, but a lot of time, and like I know that in order to monetize this thing, there's steps A through Z
Right,
that have
and
to
that's
take
part of,
place
like you said-
before I can start getting paid for it.
Yeah, and
Right.
doing your homework and getting a plan. And does the plan always work? No, it doesn't.
Well, I don't know
but
if we'll ever make a dime on this, but I'm
Exactly.
just about tenacious enough to
to
try
make
to make
sure
it
that
happen.
you do. And that's the rub right there. Everybody can't do it, and it's not can't as in talent. It's can't as in time. Can't as
Yeah.
in money. And then sometimes it's can't as in talent. But if you like something, keep doing
Can't
it.
as in 6 kids.
Yeah, and you got to have drive. I mean, if you don't have drive and it's going to follow through within the work and it's just going to show, And it's just like, if you don't have, a drive and desire to make sure it's just like, hey, this is what I want to do and this is my passion, and yeah, it's gonna eventually show, and it's just not gonna work out. And so, but if you do have that, like it's gonna work itself out, especially with some practice and some time. It'll be all good.
Yeah, I joke that talent plus $5 will get you a cup of coffee is an old adage.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's actually what I was. Perry wouldn't let me do it, but I was trying to call the podcast that at first. And but it stands true through all of these different interviews and stuff that we have. That it's fine to be talented. It's fine to be the coolest and have a direction, but like your work ethic is the only thing that's going to get you anywhere. And if you are going out there and you're trying to make it a business, because I mean, all of these things are a business at some point. There's a difference if you can do stuff for a hobby. There's no problem with like you just are passionate about filmmaking. But if you want to have any actors, you're going to have to pay them. If you want to have any props, you got to buy them. If you need to fly somewhere for a set, you got to have plane ticket travel money.
And this is where it comes in handy.
And then it turns into a business real fast.
Yeah. And this is where...
And your tenacity better be the thing that keeps you going on it.
And you probably better be a person that is not a take, but a give and take. And you give.
Yeah.
And that's where these beautiful projects come to fruition because... And we always tell people, and I said this earlier, it's not just about the awards. That's one piece of it. Yes, we all like to win things, but I honestly feel this way. And I think a lot of people that have attended our shows or other shows will say the people that you meet, that's the best thing that can come out of that situation.
Well, it's talent plus $5 plus don't be an asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And don't just be there to watch your movie. I'm a competitive person. So if
100%.
when we have films in there, like when we finally, are submitting our films that we've done, and let's say it does get nominated for something, best believe I'm going to be watching the other films that are in the category.
Oh, it's just like playing in a band and you play first
exactly.
and then walk out of the room like fucking
not,
dicks and take your crowd with you. And
it's
you
just
don't
like
do
that's
that, but
that's some lame shit. And I'm like, it's like, no, check out your competition and your other people. And let's say maybe if as a filmmaker, maybe your special effects could use some work. And you are sitting in the screening room because you're not being a dick. You're looking at other people's work, and you're like, "Holy shit!" And it's just like, "Oh, I found they're not too far from me. Like they live, the next state over." And it's just like, "Hey, who's your special effects dude? I kind of need help on that end."
Yeah. Speaking of which, who's killing it with special effects?
Oh man,
here's the thing.
And I don't mean CGI. I mean like
no,
good
old
practical,
old school
practical.
effects.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So speaking of the Damon, that had some really good practicals.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favorite practicals from this season was Hamster in My Head. They had a lot of good fun practicals by Jerry Gonzalez.
That title sounds pretty cool.
Hamster in My Head is awesome, and it's getting so much love. And it's just one of those movies. And this is why I love that we're not so married to horror. We are horror centric. So we have the sci-fi, we have the noir, the dark comedy, thriller, supernatural.
So not all of your films that you're screening at the event are specifically horror. Then.
Oh no,
but they're horror
not.
adjacent.
Yeah,
like they're in that realm.
horror-centric,
But
yes.
it's just kind of like but it doesn't have to be so strictly married to horror.
If there's a hamster in my head, I want to see some blood at some point.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's really cool. And like I said, Jerry Gonzalez has a very fun way of having these quirky stories that are a little horrific in them, and then they at the same time they have some levity to them, to where it's just like it's lighthearted, and you're just like, man, this is cool.
So you guys probably have some of your favorites as far as the people that you work with, and I want to tell you guys a story, and like I said, we'll wrap it up here, but you guys probably have your favorites that you work with, in that continually come back, but it's probably hard to play favorites when you've got all these submissions, and you can't just like guarantee your buddies
Oh,
are
absolutely.
going to win anything. And but I've met a lot of I'm not on the inside the way that you guys are with any of that stuff by far. I make the awards, that's great, and people are thankful and grateful, and I'm grateful, and it's a great relationship that we have through all of that. we're continuing to grow our relationship. Like I said, I want to get more involved in some acting and get more
We're
behind the
ready.
scenes and meet
Oh,
some of those
yeah.
people. And but a lot of those people have welcomed me and been engaging with me on socials and things like that. So it's really been a kind of nice community for me as well, just through our relationship together. But I want to tell you guys a quick story that you guys wouldn't know otherwise, but it's a
Okay.
behind the scenes kind of thing that happened. I think one day George texted me by accident, thinking I was a different Will, and invited me out to where we go.
Oh yeah, it was Kuma's.
Kuma's Corner
Kuma's. Yeah.
in Fountain Square. But and I wasn't really expecting. I'm like, we had just started our relationship, I think, in me making the. But I think you thought I was someone else, and you told me that. But I was really glad that you did invite me out, because like what I was going through at the time, like I just needed to get away from it for a little while.
Oh yeah.
The thing that really pissed me off is I had not been drinking, but I decided I was going to have a drink, and then it was like 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. The liquor stores are closed. So I had one drink left there. I was so pissed off. Like I spent the next month drinking probably.
You're like, I had
Sorry.
to make up for this.
But no, I was glad that you guys pulled me out of whatever I was doing. And, just you probably would never know that unless we talked about that story.
No,
Well,
I didn't.
well, I'm
yeah,
glad.
I was,
I'm
not,
glad
in,
it
I was
worked,
not in a
though.
good spot with what I was doing at the time, and I just needed to get out and just kind of change environments completely, which kind of helped me with the perspective that I was
And
seeing.
sometimes it's just
Yeah.
the right thing at the right time.
Sometimes you
It-
just
it's-
accidentally call the wrong Will.
Yeah,
But I don't think that was. We
no,
only know.
it was no,
I
because I'll
think
tell
the
you
dude
what it
from
was.
Texas,
Which-
right?
Texas,
Oh,
Will Boothman.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, it's like
but that was only because he was supposed to ask you earlier in the day
yeah.
anyway.
Oh well, I was just saying it.
Yeah.
However it happened in a roundabout way.
And
It's
it
so-
worked out perfectly, and I'm like, awesome. I'm like, hell yeah. It's just like it just yeah. I'm like
That
it-
was good.
Sometimes it's like you got those weird like happy accidents that whenever it ends up happening and there's some meaning that goes around it, it's just like that it works out exactly how it was supposed to. So I'm
For
like,
sure.
Sometimes you're just in the right room at the right time, in the
Yeah.
right place, and sometimes it works the opposite way. But
yeah.
We're lucky. I mean, I think one of the best things about what we do is obviously the people we meet. I love to see someone's progression being a filmmaker. We love when we get repeat.
Yeah.
I love just
filmmakers
seeing the
and
people I know
screenwriters.
succeed in general.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, even
man.
people I
So
don't
many
like.
fucking haters, man. Like people just like people will probably just watch my social media just hoping I fall on my fucking face.
Yeah.
And even
Oh, dude.
even when I do fall
Felt.
on my fucking
So
face,
felt.
I'm not gonna tell you about it.
Right.
No, I'll tell you, like one of the things that it's a huge pastime for me. Even though I haven't really been on social media much recently, but I just get a kick out of like, scrolling through, and I do take a mental note, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. I'm like, I'll look at people and
You're like, yep,
they'll-
you're on my list.
they will sit there, they will immediately, they only pop up like, like these little gremlins. Like if I say something that
Just pop
that,
up
hits
to,
the
like-
rub a little bit
Yeah.
the wrong way, and I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, it's like it's not keeping me up at night, and I'm like, I don't give a shit, but I can clearly
No, but
tell
it's like
that
they're waiting for
following
that
me
moment
Right.
to shit
Yeah.
on something.
and they're like,
can't
oh, he said this, and I'm like, I don't give a shit, and it's just like, but then also I'm looking at people like, like if the person is like really heavy handed and they're just like throwing all this kind of shit on me, I'm like, I'm looking at other people's reactions to what they have to say. Some of them tend to be people that I'm like, oh, I thought we were cool, but you kind of hit like a like on that person's thing that completely said something fucked up about me. And I'm like, I like it because now I know where I stand with people. And I'm like, the garbage of social media, it's one of the reasons why I hate Facebook. I like Instagram because there's less interaction. It's just kind of like, hey,
Yeah, you
there's
just
some
get a
cool
heart
stuff.
or you
Yeah,
don't.
hard like or you share it.
And
It's
I'm like, yeah.
I
Or
don't
you get
need
a couple emojis in the comments.
Yeah.
I'll get a whole diatribe. Don't type me more
Yeah.
than 3 fucking.
But it's like Facebook
sentences
tends
if
to
it-
be like a monster of like, just people like, well, I stand for this. And I'm like,
Failed
and I
writing
could give a shit
careers
less.
that want to fucking
or
get on
they
there.
chastise.
Yeah.
Like we've had people even put up a
Beating their
funky fucking
chest.
post about
Yeah.
not getting in. I guess Days was too scared. I'm like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
Yeah.
scared.
Like,
no,
dude,
it
yeah.
literally just take it as what it is. It's not you personally. If it was you personally, I mean, I say
It
it all
is
the
now.
time. No, I say it all the time. There's people that I genuinely I don't like them as people. I like
Yeah.
them as a filmmaker or a screenwriter, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm professional. I can stay in I have integrity. I can
Yeah.
think you're a piece of shit, but you made a good movie. I'm
Yeah.
not here to judge
And
your
we'll still select it,
marriage. I'm
even
not
though I
here to
really
judge
don't
your
like that person. I'm
personal
like,
whatever.
they did
You
good
know?
work, and I'm like, so
Yeah, I mean,
it gets selected. Now the thing is, if we was to do the exact same thing, I can guarantee you this: most likely, it wouldn't get certain places
Yeah, but
because
you guys can't. You can't.
Yeah.
It's a careful balance that you have to walk. It's like you can't operate something that's in a public forum where
Yeah.
people are gonna. You have to be somewhat political about it, and I don't mean
Yeah.
like. I just mean the politics of
the industry.
shaking hands and kissing babies and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
of the industry, and you have to maintain a certain kind of reputation and everything. So no matter what you want to say, you just fucking swallow it, and you can't fucking say
Well,
it.
and
And that's part of the arts and industry thing in general. Is like if you want to get anywhere, be a fucking nice person, and
just be cool.
don't worry about the
Yep.
fucking haters
of
and
anything.
everybody else.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's like we just keep on rolling. I mean, we've had minor things, but it's just like we're just gonna keep rolling. It's not been anything, so horrific, but
Yeah.
I'm just we are people we're just not gonna put up with any shit.
But I
mean,
absolutely
you either
love
be
our
here
haters, though.
and you got
Yeah.
be here and engage, or don't come here trying to start trouble. And the thing is, I don't think it doesn't really happen. It's happened on a couple of small incidences, but even a lot of times more before it even gets stuff, it's already been taken care of. Because when people come and just start trying to cause trouble, you don't know who's standing around, who's listening, who's whatever. So a lot of times things regulate themselves. It's just kind of like you don't have to be the parent to everybody at all the time. But
Right.
Well, let me
yeah.
fire up a couple quick fire questions to you guys, and then we'll get everybody
Like
out of here so you guys
rapid
can
fire?
get on with your stuff for
like
today.
boxers or briefs.
Yeah, boxers or brief, blue or gray. So when you guys started the festival, what's one thing that you knew was missing that you guys were going to bring to it?
Ooh, what was missing? I don't know. Well, you want to take that?
Networking. Like there was not enough space for people to network. We would go to other film fests, even ones that we had in the past. There just wasn't really much networking. So we made it, a primary objective to ensure that other filmmakers can network with others so they can collaborate. And
Do you think you guys brought a big part to the online promo and all that stuff?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because there's
yeah.
not a lot of places that are
It probably
doing the
wasn't
promo that
at first,
we.
right? I mean,
Well, we always
Yeah.
we always did promotion. Even when we first became the directors at Horror Hound, we did a lot of promotion. When we went to PopCon, because we did for 3 years, we did two festivals simultaneously, and so we had to
Horror
do
Hound and Days.
Horror Hound and PopCon.
Oh,
yeah.
And then we were PopCon, and then
Yeah,
PopCon
we
and
resigned.
Days.
Yeah, we resigned from Horror Hound, and then we were just at PopCon, and then we got hired at Days, and so we were working at, PopCon and Days of the Dead, and so running those two until we left PopCon, and then now we're just Days of the
And
Dead.
so we've always been heavy on promotion because we always said, to be specific, we said we're going to promote. We're going to promote these creators. We're going to give it everything we got. So we do not only laurels, we do announcements to where it shows if they've got a trailer, it shows the trailer, who's in it, gives a synopsis. So it's like this whole little calling card that they can just take and share. We knew
Do you do that for every film?
for every film, every screenplay.
Holy shit!
And
How many hours a week do you guys think you guys put into this?
It's a full-time job.
How many hours are in the week? No, okay. So outside of George, so literally
The running joke is anything in
isn't sleeping, he's
entrepreneurship is at
working.
least 100 hours a week.
Yeah, and I'm
Dude,
gonna say
easy.
it's at least my day is at least 10 to 12. And so it's his, because once he wakes up, we're working on something, whether it's
Yeah.
the film fest or the
Production.
production. So we try to,
Or distribution, putting films through distribution. Also, I'm like,
in which we really pulled back from that only. Excuse me, to take a few projects so we can give them. We've always only taken a few projects at a time, but we even scaled back a little bit because we started doing production and adding the production piece. So we're still doing it slow.
Who's one person you can think of that you've watched grow from the ground up that you think is gone, that you're proud of, that you think has gone the
I think
farthest?
we both
Yeah.
have 1, 2, 3.
Jake
Jerry
Cap-
Gonzalez. Oh,
Oh!
that's still Jay's. Okay, you do yours. I'll do mine. Okay.
So Jake Capranica, really, he's based
Celeste
in
Simpatico
Atlanta.
Pictures.
Simpatico Pictures. And Celeste Blandon. They're a couple and going to get married, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were with us our very first cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and to watch them grow as filmmakers has been very impressive. But yeah, it's
And Jerry Gonzalez,
Jerry
to watch
Gonzalez.
him grow as a filmmaker has been very impressive. It's like so it was so wild because with Jerry, and they both have been with us since we first, or did Jerry, I think
Yeah.
Jerry was at the, he was
Jerry
at the
was our
very
first
one.
Chicago show. Yep.
And, oh yeah, so then that would have been the first site, the second
Intergalactic
show.
Pizza Boy. Yep.
And, so,
Intergalactic Pizza Boy.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
great. We were just talking about that when we were driving to the property the other day. But watching him grow, I mean, already he came out the door swinging, but just watching the progression and the storytelling, and it's just been really cool to see. And so when we watched it and we started doing nominations, you know, in my head I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this might be the one he wins Best Short for, because, you know, you see these films and, you know, it's all about competition at the time as well. So short answer, those are two people. It's
Yeah.
just been remarkable to see them growing and to keep submitting films and to keep having all this success. But it's not just, and they're good people too, and they're always
Yeah.
supportive of everyone else. I mean, Jerry has been a lifesaver, like
Yep.
with helping us get people for script reads, or if Chrissy Fox, hi Chrissy, love her. She's
Yeah.
a great filmmaker. She's a great singer, and they were doing a convention there and they were promoting their movie Big Baby, and so they needed someone to do the costume for photo ops and to do anything. So it was in Chicago. First called Jerry. Like literally, hey Jerry, this is what's going on. Let me connect
you
you to
help?
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he literally knows so many people, but he's just the pulse of that. He just is very welcoming and supportive of everyone. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was really cool because something that even wasn't directly related to us, because she asked and then I was able to put her in touch. And then the guy that did the costume, he did script reads with us. So Jerry just like keeps on, you know, he continually gives to this community and it's great. So do the, you know, simpatico.
And I love to see, you know, it's
Yeah.
like people like that, they find success because they're always there and they're there in the moment, and they make sure that they are a piece of all that. And it's just like,
But
and
not for
some-
years.
That's how it was for me with
Yeah.
traveling around doing art shows, man. If you're not in the room, you're not in it. You miss out on what's gonna come out of it, you know?
Yep.
Yes, I have the expense of going. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Yes, I have to pack all my shit and go there, and I have my own expenses of doing it, and hotels and arrangements and travel and all that. But then I go, and then next thing I know, I'm getting another opportunity. If
Yeah.
I don't go, I don't get it.
You're not going to meet, but yeah, and it's just like, and even if it's not something that you walked away with at that moment, that being there, it's going to come back around. It literally,
Well, it's full circle for me, yeah, because I also do the same thing. Like if somebody's offered me an opportunity, I'm trying to offer them an opportunity. I mean, you know, that's just how I work. And I think anybody that takes that sort of mindset to relationships and opportunities, you know, generally create more opportunities for
we're
themselves.
very lucky. We're very fortunate that people have been in our path. Whether it was us putting them in our path, or they put themselves, or someone else put them an introduction, a meet, or, you know, casually meeting someone. We're lucky to have the sponsors we do. We're
Yeah.
lucky to have you
Oh,
doing
same.
awards
No,
where,
it's a,
you know,
it's a symbiotic relationship
yeah,
for sure.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it's so exciting because people literally look forward. Like someone tagged me in the last generation you did, but I hadn't seen yours yet. And I think it was Mike Ead and like a couple other people. Like as soon as you put that reel up, like people just started tagging us and posting it up, even though they weren't even in that cycle. They were just
That's
like,
cool.
oh, look, and it
Yeah.
was cool because and that says a lot, I think, about not just the award, but how the award came about, you know, and we've told people like, yeah, our friend introduced us and we didn't know if this could work, but we're about nurturing relationships. We don't take anything for granted. And, you know, we
Yeah,
always
but you know
want-
what? You realize pretty quick if somebody's a stand-up person and it's going to work out or not. And now here
Yeah.
we are coming up on the 8th generation of doing these, which, by the way, we need to figure out when you want to
Yeah.
start
I
these.
know,
things.
I
need to,
know,
well,
like-
because I need to figure out my
Okay,
production
so,
and everything.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
like,
but
ASAP.
the show is July 17th through the 19th, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And we love the opportunity as a podcast to come out and do that. So we'll talk
Come-
about doing
Oh, we're
that
gonna
together.
come out. I'm already actually making the schedule for the media room because we have people, so we're just gonna add you to
Pencil
the
us in, yeah.
Yes.
And when I'm not,
because you're confirming that you're gonna come, right?
yes.
Perry.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay,
count us
all right.
in. If he can't show up, I'll do it on the phone. I don't care. I'll figure it out.
Cool.
But so July 17th through the 19th is the next Days of the Dead Film Festival in Indianapolis. These are the film festival directors, George and Audery Lane. You guys have been through a lot of different cool shit with different filmmakers and just being in the mix and in the medium all the time. You guys have lots of stories, and
We're gonna have to do a part 2 of this.
Yeah, I'd love to have you guys back and do a part 2. But this is season 1, episode 3. Look for the upcoming date in July. And when I'm not doing this, I'm going to get back to work on making the awards for it. So grateful to have them as friends. Big thanks to Perry Stevens over
Yes,
here
thank
on
you,
the
Perry.
production.
Yes.
And
appreciate you.
we will catch you guys next time. Clear Coat Podcasts.